So hello again and welcome back, or welcome for the first time if this is your first time here for the Elegantly Raw Tidbits. Monday to Fridays at this time, same place, and on my Elegantly Raw Dorit YouTube channel as well. I am so glad to be speaking about belief systems today. Why is this? What are your belief systems? Have you ever questioned any of them? And having questioned them, have you found any of them to no longer serve you? And if they no longer serve you, is it because they were false constructs in the first place that you simply adopted and inherited from your parents, grandparents, caretaker, teachers, media, society at large, movies, books, best friends, people we didn't like, people who harmed us? Do our belief systems come from that? A lot of it does, unfortunately, yes. But are we being harmed by everyone who brings their belief systems into our own energy field? This is something that I've been thinking about since I was a child. Because I was very aware of nature and nature's incredible bounty, nature's amazing generosity, and almost stability. And I saw the grown-ups around me living out their belief systems, and I was aghast, absolutely aghast. And I didn't understand why, when we were little children, we were taken to a movie theater and we were shown a film, an extremely graphic film about fires and what to do in a fire and how fires come about and how it's so easy to light something on fire. And it was a film for us to learn safety. And, you know, where's the emergency exit, where to go, what to do in the case of a fire, to cover your mouth with preferably a cloth that's wet or something that's wet, drop to the ground, etc., etc. But what I did not forget, and I haven't forgotten, was when I went outside of the cinema, the movie theater was waiting for my father to pick me up, and he was always late, so I had time to see everybody else. And this was a theater, so it had steps going up to it, so I was a little higher up, and I was a wee thing, you know, very small and tiny, actually. I was told, but I never felt tiny. And so I was up here, so I could almost in the same level of the face level as the adults that were passing by below on the sidewalk. And I noticed as soon as I went out, there was a man walking with this piece of paper on fire in between his mouth, and he had his fingers here on either side of it. He was smoking a cigarette. And I was absolutely astounded, and I immediately shouted to the teacher who had taken us there, look, he's on fire. And she said, no, he's just smoking a cigarette. And I said, what? Remember, I was very small. And I said, what? And she explained to me that some people will light these things that comes in, roll it in paper and light it and put it in their mouth. And I remember very vividly that in the film we just saw, it said it's not the fire that usually kills us unless we are there and we get burnt up in it. It's the smoke from the fire, and it's the smoke that is so harmful. And I said, but look at all that smoke coming out of him. And she said, yes, he's inhaling it. And I said, but we were just told not to inhale that fire and to put this wet cloth preferably over our mouth and our nostrils and stay low so the smoke doesn't come to us in its huge, in that, you know, its full strength, and get out into the fresh air as soon as possible. He's out in the fresh air and he's lighting something on fire. And she kept talking to me and reassuring me that it was okay. And I just thought, What about that film I just saw? And so that's the first time that I recall for myself realizing that people's belief systems have nothing to do with truth. And that we become our belief systems and we will defend them as much as we possibly can get away with, and that they make no sense whatsoever. So already I started questioning all the belief systems of all the adult world, everything, one of them. So my question for you today is, what belief systems have been handed down to you that you've now claimed as your own, and they are creating a peril for you in living your own life authentically? Is your life authentically yours? Or is it a construct of all the many belief systems that you've been handed down and inherited from others? And what do you do to break this pattern, if so? If you're feeling any angst, if you're feeling disconnected, if you feel any kind of distress or malaise in any way, it's quite possible that your life is not congruent with the belief systems that you have inherited, and they're not your own. And how do we know they're not our own? Look at our language. Our language betrays us all the time. I studied linguistics because I was fascinated by the language of adults and how the language that they spoke did not fit their actions. And that was when I was older, of course, when I went to university. But I'm still fascinated by it. I studied nonviolent communication. That's Marshall Rosenberg's work. I studied NLP. I studied so many of the things that has to do with the language and how our language constantly betrays us. And so does our belief systems. So do our belief systems, they betray us. Our belief systems betray us. I'm going to put up something here from Wayne Dyer. I'd like you to read this, please. Who says a belief system is nothing more than a thought you've thought over and over again. So yes, when we think about something over and over and over again, what happens is that it ends up becoming for us a belief, and we believe it. You know, I don't remember who said that if you repeat something, any nonsense, over and over again, and when people are listening to you, eventually they will believe it and it becomes a truth. Governments do it all the time. Corporations live by that. PR and marketing. Isn't that what that is? So I'm going to put something else up here. And I do not know who said this, unfortunately, but I love this. I'm asking you today to break the systems. If they kill your art, if they kill your spirit, your creativity, and if necessary, please think of walking alone. Walk your own walk. Talk your own talk. Think your own thoughts. It's not easy. It means we have to detox and purify and cleanse. And I did 3 separate videos like this about the differences between purification, detoxification, and cleansing. So hopefully you can find them. You definitely can find them on my Elegantly Raw Dorit YouTube channel. And please think about doing that. So Shannon L. Adler said, Alder said, it is not until you change your identity to match your life blueprint that you will understand why everything in the past never worked. It never worked because those were not your belief systems. So I'm going to be doing a series of how to first of all, navigate this very perilous path, and then how to excavate, go on an archaeological dig of your thoughts and your feelings and find out which ones are not authentically yours, how to excavate them, bring them to light, let them go, and find out what is your own bliss. So please join me here, and I look forward to more of this with you. In the meantime, please write down below what belief systems you believe are not your own, which ones would you really wish to give up right now, and how will you go about that? Or if you need help going about it, let us know and we will respond to you in the comments as well. So thank you for being with me today. I look forward to so many more of these elegantly raw tidbits with you.